Good morning, children. We will continue our chapter Multiples and Factors. We had learned something about factors in our previous class. Today we will learn about facts about factors. First fact is 1 is a factor of every number. It is also the smallest factor. We know that every number has many factors, just like 25 has 1, 5, and 25 as its factors, right? So which is the smallest factor? 1 is the smallest factor, and any number can be divided by 1, right? Any number, you take any number like 100, 120, 3, 7, any number you take, you can divide it by 1, right? What will be the quotient? Quotient will be the number itself. But you can divide any number by 1. That means 1 is a factor of every number, right? And it is the smallest factor also. The next fact is the greatest factor of a number is the number itself. Means any number can be divided into many numbers, right? Into smaller numbers. But the greatest number that it can be divided into is the number itself. Suppose we take a number 28. We can divide it into the factors of 28 are 1, 4, 7, 2, then 28, right? 28 is the last factor, and the greatest factor is the number itself, that is 28, right? What is the third fact? A factor of a number is always smaller than or equal to the number. A number can be divided into the number smaller than itself, right? Factor means division, as we know, and the numbers that can be divided are smaller than the number itself. Here the example of 12 is given. What are the factors of 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. 1 is the smallest factor, 12 is the greatest factor. And what are the factors between 2, 3, 4 and 6? Right? All the numbers are smaller than 12. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. They are all smaller to 6. Smaller than 12. Right? Means the factors are smaller than the number or equal to 12. Right? What is the next fact? As division by 0 is not possible, so 0 is not a factor of any number. 0 cannot be any factor of any number because we cannot divide any number by 0. It is not possible. The fifth fact is an even number can have both odd and even numbers as factors. But an odd number can have only odd numbers as factors. This I have told you earlier also, that all the even numbers are divisible by 2. Means 2 is factor of every even number. If I take an example of 10 here, what are the factors of 10? 1, 2, 5 and 10. Right? These are all the factors of 10. If we see that 1 and 5, they are odd numbers. We leave 1 because 1 is a factor of every number. But leaving 1, 5 is there. Right? 5 is an odd number, but 5 can be a factor of an even number. If I take another example of 6, what are the factors of 6? 1, 2, 3 and 6 itself. 3 is coming as a factor. 3 is an odd number, but it is a factor of an even number, that is 6. Right? So, an even number can have odd number as its factor. But if we take an example of an odd number, say 9. 9 is an example of an odd number. What are the factors of 9? 1, 3 and 9. Here we can see that only odd numbers are factors of the odd numbers. Any even number is not there as the factor of 9, right? So an odd number like 9 has only odd numbers as its factor. There can be no even number as factor of odd number. Okay? This is an example of 9. Sixth fact is a number has finite or limited factors only. But what about multiples? We studied that a number can have infinite multiples, right? Because we don't know the last multiplication table. So it has infinite. But in case of factor, it has only finite number of factors. Because the number is the last factor and the greatest factor itself. Suppose we say 6. 6 has only 3 factors. 1, 2, 3 and 6. 6 is the last. 4 factors, sorry. It has 4 factors. So 6 is the last factor. It has only 4. We can count the number of factors. Because we are dividing that number, no? And it can be divided into limited numbers only. A factor divides the number exactly, leaving no remainder. There is no remainder or the remainder is 0, right? Only then we can say that it is a factor. Next fact is, every number except 1 has at least 2 factors, that is 1 and the number itself. We know that every number can be divided by itself and by 1. So we say that any number has 2 factors, at least 2 factors it has, 1 and the number itself. Right? Factors of 7 are 1 and 7. But leaving these 2 factors, there is no other factor of 7. Right? Similarly, factors of 14 are 1, 2, 7 and 14. Now we come to common factors and HCF or highest common factor. If we take 2 numbers, here example is 9 and 12 is given. If we take 2 numbers, we have to find the factors of 9 and factors of 12. What are the factors of 9? They are 1, 3 and 9. What are the factors of 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. Now we have to find common factors, means the same factors. What are the same factors of 9 and 12? 1 is first the same factor. We know that 1 is factor of every number. The next same factor is 3. Right? So what are the common factors of 9 and 12? They are 1 and 3. Now we have to find out which is the highest common factor. Here 3 is the highest, the largest, the greatest factor. Right? It is called as HCF or the highest common factor. The greatest number which divides 2 or more numbers without leaving a remainder is called the highest common factor of the numbers. Examples are given. Find the HCF of 5, 10 and 15. You have to find out the factors of 5. What are the factors of 5? 1 and 5. Next, what are the factors of 10? They are 1, 2, 5 and 10. What are the factors of 15? 1, 3, 5 and 15. Now you have to find out the common factors of 1, 5. What are the common factors? They are 1 and 5. 1 we do not consider. We consider the greatest factor which is 5. Okay, so HCF is 5. In the next example, 4 and 9. What are the common factors? Only 1 is the common factor. So HCF will be 1 only. Now we come to exercise 3 of this chapter. We had completed questions 1 and 2 in our previous class. Today we will solve the questions 3, 4, 5 and 6. First, third question you have to write true or false. 4 is a factor of 48. You will have to see whether 48 can be divided by 4 or not. Whether the remainder is 0 or not. Find it out. 4 ones are 4. Then 0 is remainder. Again 8 you have to take down. 4 twos are 8. So 1, 2, 12. 12 is the quotient and there is no remainder. So here we get 0 as the remainder, means it is a factor. Right? It is true. Next is 0 is a factor of 25. We have learned that 0 cannot be factor of any number. So it is a false. Every number is a factor of itself. Yes, it is true. C is true. D, it is a factor of 65. Can 65 be divided by 8? No. Right? So it is false. You have to find the last two. In the fourth question, you have to find out the common factors of the following numbers. Find out the factors of 4 and 10, then find out the common factors and then find out the greatest common factor, that is the common factors which is higher in number, highest in number. Okay. That will be the highest common factor. Okay. What are the factors of 4? 1, 2 and 4. What are the factors of 10? 1, 2, 5 and 10. What are the common factors? 1 and 2, right? So HCF will be 2, right? Not 1. Fifth question, you have to find out the HCF of the following. Same thing, you have to do it here also. Next, 6 is, which of the following are co-primes? This we will learn in the next class, okay? Thank you and have a nice day.